Hi, this is Nujat Anjum. In this class, we will discuss about the classification of the alkyl halides and SN1 mechanism. Classification of alkyl halides. Alkyl halide. Before the classification of alkyl halide, we will discuss about the water alkyl halide. We will already discussed about water alkyl halide in our previous class. That is the alkyl group which is react with the any halogen atom and it forms a alkyl and halogen bond. Then this compound is called alkyl halide, and this is the general formula of the alkyl halide. We already discussed about alkyl halides in our previous class. Now we will discuss about the classification of the alkyl halides. Alkyl halides are classified into primary alkyl halides, secondary alkyl halides and tertiary alkyl halides on the basis of the halogen atom which is attached to which carbon atom. That is, if the halogen atom is attached to the primary carbon atom, then this is called primary alkyl halide. If the halogen atom is attached to the secondary carbon atom, then it is called secondary alkyl halide. If the halogen atom is attached to the tertiary carbon atom, then this is called tertiary alkyl halide. Then what is the meaning of primary carbon atom, secondary carbon atom and tertiary carbon atom? If the carbon atom which is bonded with the halogen is bonded to only one alkyl group and other two atoms are hydrogen atoms, then this carbon is called primary carbon atom. This is primary carbon atom. If the halogen atom which is bonded with the primary carbon atom, then this compound is called primary alkyl halide. It is primary alkyl halide. Look at here, this is our primary alkyl halide. It is first type of the alkyl halides. In the second type, what happens? The carbon atom which is bonded to the halogen atom is bonded with two alkyl groups. Then this carbon is called secondary carbon. This is secondary carbon. Then this halogen atom is bonded with the secondary carbon. That's why the compound is called secondary alkyl halide. This is the secondary alkyl halide because two alkyl groups are bonded to the carbon atom which is bonded with the halogen atom. This is the second type of the alkyl halide. And the third type of the alkyl halide, that is tertiary alkyl halide. Here what happens? All the three bonds which is formed by the carbon atom except the bond between the carbon and halogen are alkyl groups. These three are alkyl groups. Then this carbon is called tertiary carbon. This is tertiary carbon. Then this tertiary carbon is bonded with the halogen atom. That's why the group, this alkyl halide group is called tertiary alkyl halide. This is tertiary alkyl halide because this is the tertiary carbon. It means that carbon atom which is bonded with the three alkyl groups. This is about the classification of the alkyl halides. It will be depends on the structure of the carbon atom. It means if the carbon atom which is attached to the halogen atom is primary, then the alkyl halide is primary alkyl halide. If the carbon atom which is bonded with the halogen atom, it is secondary carbon, then the alkyl halide is secondary alkyl halide. If the carbon atom which is bonded with the halogen atom which is tertiary carbon, then the compound is tertiary alkyl halide. The next topic is nucleophilic substitution reaction. Before going to the SN1 mechanism, we will be know some basic terms of the SN1 mechanism, that is nucleophilic substitution reaction. We already know SN1 means SN means nucleophilic substitution. Nucleophilic substitution reaction means here what happens, a nucleophile, this is a nucleophile which is replaced by the halogen atom in the alkyl halide. It means here substitution takes place. The halide atom, halide ion, which is replaced by any other nucleophile, and it forms a substitution product. This reaction is called nucleophilic substitution reaction. In nucleophilic substitution reaction, what happens? The carbon and halogen bond. In the alkyl halide, the carbon and halogen bond is a polar bond because the halogen atom is more electronegative. Halogen atom is more electronegative as we compared with the carbon atom. So that the bond between the carbon and halogen, it is formed by the two electrons, and these two electrons are slightly shifted towards the halogen atom because of the more electronegativity of the halogen atom. For that reason, the halogen gains a partially negative charge and carbon gains a partially positive charge. This partially negative and positive charge creates this bond polar. Because of the polar nature of this bond, when the bond fission happens, it will be breaks heterolytically and it forms two ions, carbonium ion, it means carbon cation, and a halogen ion. It is an ion. And later what happens, this anion is replaced by the another anion, that is called nucleophile. Nucleophile means any negatively charged particles like OH minus or Cn minus or Cl minus, any, this is a halogen, or any OH minus, Cn minus, or any negatively charged particles. Any negatively charged particles are known as nucleophiles. These nucleophiles are replaced by the halogen atom in the alkyl halide. Then this reaction is called nucleophilic substitution reaction. And this is how we will be represent the nucleophilic substitution reaction. This is the nucleophile and this is the polar bond between the carbon and halogen. That's why carbon gains a partially positive charge and halogen gains a partially negative charge. And after the heterolytic bond fission of this bond, the halogen atom is replaced by the nucleophile and it forms a substitution product. This reaction is called nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, now we will be discuss about the SN1 mechanism. First, we will know what is the meaning of SN1. SN1 means it is unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Unimolecular means here the nucleophile which is substituted by the halogen atom, that is a unimolecular nucleophile. That's why this reaction is called SN1 reaction. SN1 reaction means SN1 stands for it is a unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, this reaction involves two steps. The SN1 reaction involves two steps. In the first step and second step, what will be happens, we will be discuss one by one. For example, we will be consider a hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide with aqueous NaOH. Aqueous NaOH means here what happens in aqueous form, sodium and hydroxyl ions are present in the aqueous NaOH solution. It means here NaOH is present in the form of ions, Na plus ion and OH minus ion. Here we will be got an idea. Here the nucleophile is OH minus because it is a negatively charged particle, negatively charged molecule, and this molecule is formed by the aqueous NaOH solution, and this is the nucleophile in our SN1 mechanism. In the first step, what happens? The alkyl halide is ionizes and it gives a planar carbonium ion. The alkyl halide which is ionizes and it gives a planar carbonium ion. Look at here, this is the tertiary butyl bromide. Here what happens? This tertiary butyl bromide is converted into a planar carbonium ion in the first step. In the first step what happens? The tertiary butyl bromide, it is not a planar. Look at here, this is the bond and this bond is denoted by the dots. It means this bond is present behind the plane and this bond is represented by a thick line. It means this bond is present above the plane. It means this is not a planar structure. The tertiary butyl bromide is not a planar molecule. In the first step of the nucleophilic substitution reaction, what happens? This compound will become planar. It means here the bond is breaks and this carbon atom will become sp2 hybridized carbon atom. Because of the sp2 hybridization of the central positively charged carbon atom, this structure will become planar. This is the first step what will be happens in the SN1 mechanism. In SN1 mechanism what happens? The tertiary butyl bromide is converted into a positively charged carbon atom with planar structure. It means planar carbonium ion is forms by breaking of the or by heterolytic bond fusion of the carbon and halogen bond. In the second step what happens? This planar compound, this planar compound means planar carbonium ion molecule is react with the nucleophile which is created by the aqueous NaOH solution. I already explained about this. Here what happens? This NaOH is negatively charged molecule and this molecule is act as a nucleophile in our this reaction. This NaOH is attached to the central positively charged carbon atom because the charge of the carbonium ion is positive and this nucleophile having a negative charge and positive and negative charges are attract each other. Because of this reason this hydroxyl ion is attached to the carbonium ion and it forms a product tertiary butyl alcohol. Tertiary butyl alcohol. This is our product by SN1 mechanism. This is the SN1 mechanism. SN1 means unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. In SN1 mechanism, what happens? The one molecule which is in SN1 unimolecular mechanism, what happens? It involves two steps. In the first step, this compound tertiary butyl bromide is undergo heterolytic bond fission and it forms a planar carbonium ion and it leaves a halogen ion. Here the halogen is bromine. That's why bromide ion is liberated because of the bond fission of the carbon and halogen bond. In the second step, what happens? In the second step, the planar carbonium ion is react with the hydroxyl ion. It is formed by the aqueous NaOH solution, and this hydroxyl ion it is act as a nucleophile in this reaction and it forms a bond between the carbonium ion and hydroxyl ion. Finally, the tertiary butyl alcohol is the product of this reaction. This is about the SN1 mechanism. In the next class, we will discuss about the SN2 mechanism. Thank you.